Good morning, everyone. Jai Shri Ram. Today we'll start chapter 58. Jambavan requests Hanumana to narrate clearly the happenings from Lanka. I will recite 22 verses from this chapter and explain its meaning. Jambavan, seated along with the monkey troops, requested Hanumana to narrate clearly whatever has occurred. That is what is described in this chapter. Hanumana narrates in detail how he saw Mount Menaka in the course of his journey to Lanka, and how he escaped on the way from the clutches of Surasa, a great serpent living in the ocean. Hanumana also narrated about his killing of Simhika, a female demon, on the way, and also about defeating another female demon, Lanka Inkamet, who was guarding the city of Lanka. Hanumana explains to Jambavan how he beholds Sita in Ashok garden after a thorough search of the city of Lanka, and how he introduces himself as an envoy sent by Rama and Sugriva. Hanumana informs Jambavan that he hands over a finger ring of Rama as a token of remembrance to Sita, and that he further asks for a written token of remembrance from her to be handed over to Rama. Hanumana then narrates about Sita having delivered to him an excellent jewel of her head as a token of remembrance. He further narrates about the demolition of the garden attached to Ravana's gymnasium, and about killing of Aksha, Ravana's son. Hanumana further informs about his capture by Indrajit, Ravana's son, and his tail being burned by demons on receiving the orders from Ravana. He further informs about his setting fire of the city of Lanka. He finally narrates about his revisit to Sita and his return to Mount Mahindra. Verses 1 to 22. ततः तस्य गिरैः शृङ्गे महेन्द्रस्य महाबलाः हनुमत्प्रमुखाः प्रीतिं हरयो जम्मुः उत्तमाम् तमततः प्रतिशम्मष्टाः प्रीतिमं मन्तममहाकपिं जाम्बवान् कार्यवृत्तान्तम् अपृच्छत अनिल आत्मजं कथं दृष्टा त्वया देवी कथं वा तत्र वर्तते तस्यां वा स कथं वृत्तः क्रूरकर्मादशाननः तत्त्वतः सर्वम् एतन्नः प्रभुभिः त्वममहाकपे श्रुतार्थाः चिन्तयिष्यामो भूयः कार्यविनिश्रयम् यः च अर्थः तत्र वक्तव्यो गतैः अस्माभिः आत्मवान् रक्षितव्यं च तत्र यत् तत्र तत् भवान् व्याकरोतु नुः स नियुक्तः ततः तेन सम्प्रहष्टतनूरुहः नमस्य न शिरसा देव्यै सीतायै प्रत्यभाषतः प्रत्यक्षम् एव भवतां महा इन्द्र अग्रात् खम आप्लुतः उद्धतेः दक्षिणं पारं काक्षमाणः समाहितः गच्छतः च हि मे घोरं विघ्नरूपम् इव अभवत् काञ्चनं शिखरं दिव्यं पश्यामि सुमनोहरं स्थितं पन्थानम् आवृत्य मेने विघ्नं च नगम् उपसङ्गम्य तव दिव्यं काञ्चनं नगसत्तमं कृता मे मनसा बुद्धिः वेतव्योऽयं मया इति च प्रहतं च मया तस्य लाङ्गूलेन महागिरैः शिखरं सूर्यसंकाशं व्यसीर्यत शहदता विवशां च मे बुद्धत्वा सः उवाच महागिरिः पुत्रैतं मधुराणां वाणीं मनः प्रहयन्त इव पितृव्ययं च अपि माम वित्ति सखा अयं मातरिश्वन्नः मेनकामिति विख्यातं निवसन्तं महौदद्यौ पक्षवन्तः पुरा पुत्रा बभूवुः पर्व उत्तमाः चन्दतः पृथिवीं चैरुः बाधमानाः समन्ततः श्रुत्वा नागनं चरितं महा इन्द्रः पाकशासनं चिच्छेन्दः भगवान् पक्षान् वज्रेण इशां सहस्रशः अहं तु मोक्षितः तस्मात् तव पित्रा महात्मना मारुतेन तदा वत्सपक्षिप्तौ अस्मि महा अर्णवे रामशस्य च मया साह्ये वर्तितव्यम् अरिनदम रामो धर्मवृत्तं श्रेष्ठो महा इन्द्रसमविक्रमम् एवं श्रुत्वा मया तस्य मेनका कस्य महात्मनः कार्यम् आवेद्य तु गिरैः उद्यतं च मनो मम तेन अहम् अनुज्ञातो मेनकेन महात्मना स चाप्यन्तः हीर्तः शैलो मानुषेण वपुष्मता शरीरेण महाशैलैः शैलेन च महादतो उत्तमं जवम् आस्थाय शेषम् अध्वा नम आस्थितः ततोऽहं शुचिरं कालं वेगेन अभ्यगम्पति ततः पश्यामि अहं देवीं शूरशां नागमातरं समुद्रमध्ये सा देवी वचनं माम अभाषत मम भक्ष्यः प्रदिष्टः त्वम् अपारैः हरिसत्तमं ततः त्वां भक्षयिष्यामि विहितः त्वम् चिरस्य मे. This means thereafter the mighty monkeys, headed by Hanuman and others, experienced a great joy on that summit of Mount Mahendra. Then Jambavan, thrilling with rapture, asked the delighted Hanuman, the great monkey, about the particulars of that actual occurrence of seeing Sita as follows. How did you see Sita? How was she there? How was that Ravana of terrible deeds behaving towards her? O Hanumana, tell us entirely in truth whatever has occurred. Ascertaining the truth from you, we shall again think about what decision to be taken further. When we go there to the presence of Rama, having prudence, tell us clearly which matter is to be disclosed and which matter is to be kept off from him. Thus commanded by Jamban, Hanumana, with his hair standing on end, mentally offered his salutation to Sita, the princess, by bowing his head, and replied as follows. With an intention to reach the southern shore of the ocean, I leaped into the sky, indeed before your presence from the summit of the Mount Mahendra. While I was going, a terrific hindrance occurred in my ways. As it was, I saw a golden mountain peak, which was so charming and fascinating. I accounted that mountain staying turned towards the path as an impediment. Approaching that excellent, charming, and golden mountain, I made up my mind to shatter it. As I struck it with my tail, the mountain peak of that great hill, resembling the sun, was broken into 1,000 pieces. Understanding my purpose, that great mountain spoke the following sweet words, saying, O my son, as though it was refreshing my mind once more to proceed further, know me to be generally called as Maina, dwelling in this great ocean, as a companion of the wind god, and even as your father's brother. O my son, long ago the foremost among the mountains used to have wings. They used to wander the entire earth freely, hurting the people. Hearing that behavior of those mountains, the vulnerable Indra, the lord of celestials, the destroyer of demons called Paka, chopped their wings into 1,000 pieces by using his thunderbolt. O child, I, on my part, was hurled into the great ocean by high-souled wind god, your father, and was liberated from the clutches of Indra. O Hanumana, the annihilator of enemies, I have to behave in such a way that to help Rama. For Rama, having a prowess equal to that of Indra, is indeed excellent in supporting righteousness. Hearing the words of that high soul Menka, and after informing my purpose, my mind was prepared for a further travel. The high soul Menka also allowed me to depart. That Menka mountain vanished in the guise of a beautiful form of a human being. That large mountainous form also later drowned into the great ocean. Thereafter, employing an excellent speed and continuing on my course, I proceeded in that path speedily for a long time. Thereafter, I saw Surasa, the mother of serpents, and in the midst of the sea. That goddess spoke the following words to me: O excellent of monkeys, the celestials have shown you as my eatable. Therefore I will eat you, since you have been bestowed to me by gods after a long time. I'll continue other verses in my next video. Jai Shri Ram.